Afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching in the world. It's game day. It's the women, and we're at Cardiff City Stadium. I'm curious to see what the attendance is for this one. Obviously, the lineup, an interesting one for Wrexham. Subtitles are available. Good, because I'm going to need them. Maybe I can't listen to this one. We'll see how this one goes. I'm going to see if there's another English stream. The big key component, this one's not available free on iFollow. So down below, I've put the links. In the UK, you can watch on S4C on the TV, the BBC iPlayer, the game, again, not on iFollow. Worldwide, you're going to youtube.com/Scorio and picking it up there. It'll be an interesting one because of the late start. My youngest has activities to go to, so my eldest is going to be here. I'm sure he's going to be making appearances, and you'll hear him in the background as I'm going to be both doing a live and parenting at the same time. So that will be entertaining. John, nice to see that you're here. I am going to see if I can find an English stream, because right now I've got the Welsh one, which I think is awesome, but I just wouldn't understand it. And if I end up having to go without the so if you go to Scorio and hit live, and we'll see if we get an English one. They did before. I did find it. Perfect. So let's go to the English one. Although it seems it's in Welsh in any event. We will find out, at least the subtitles. If it's going to end up being otherwise, that's fine. So the iFollow stuff. No Del Morgan today. Boland in, that'll be interesting. She hasn't started since I can't remember the last game because we had the young 16-year-old Akers fill in for her, Del, midway through the season. I think it was one of the first two games of the season, and she came in because of an injury. All right, I assume it's the preview, and then we'll end up with a broadcaster at some point. That's fine. It'd be nice to understand at some point. I think I'm on the right one. If you go to Scorio and then you hit on the live streams, it'll have both an English version and a Welsh version, and right now it's both in Welsh. And so Boland didn't perform very well. I think it was the Swansea game that we ended up drawing early in the season when we were, if I recall, we were up, and Swansea was able to draw themselves back in, and she didn't look that solid. So this is her first appearance that I can recall. Since then, I was a big fan of Akers. She was tested in that match, but right now, let's be honest, Cardiff City, class of the league, top of the table, and it's an important game for Wrexham only because if we want to stay in striking distance once they decide to go to the second half of the season and we play those top four teams or are one of the top four teams, hopefully, we're on target to do that. If we're going to want to make a run, we can't let them get too far away. And we're what, 9 points behind? I'm bringing the table up here. I believe we are. And of course, it's all over the place. I thought we were 9 points back with a game in hand. Go to the standings, and yes, we're 9 points back with a game in hand. Swansea played today earlier, I believe. And and they're playing Pontypridd. I haven't checked the score on that one. I've put no out-of-town scoreboard because they're both playing at this time. So they played Pontypridd. The new Saints, who are sitting in fourth place right now, they played earlier this morning against Barry Town United Ladies. And the team that's chasing to try and sneak into that top four, Aberystwyth, they had their match earlier this morning as against Cardiff Met. Rain all game. I'm curious to see what the attendance was. Can I say that it's piss poor marketing? Is that fair by Cardiff? I mean, you've got they had an opportunity and they should have pushed it. The only people who were talking about the South Wales doubleheader, Rosie's on the bench, Suckley's drawn in. Boland's there, and obviously we've got the Duran injury. I haven't heard anything other than her own tweet on the 8th that said that she's had a scan and she's waiting for the results of that. But it's nice to see Rosie at least getting. It's going to be a tough. I mean, Cardiff is by far the class of the league. They've been running a rough shot over everybody. 9 wins, 1 draw, no losses. 31 goal differential, this on an absolute tear, and they're going to be facing a Wrexham squad on the road with their untested backup goalkeeper and a 16-year-old in reserve, and without our top striker. This is one of those games where you're like, let's just get into the fight and see how it goes, and hope the women are able to hold, and our top defender are one of our top defenders. So it's things are a little bit thin with Wrexham right now, but let's be fair. Go back to the start of the season. You get promoted from the second tier to the top tier into a league where the top four end up securing sort of an internal league competition against each other. I think the goal is, by all means, avoid relegation, but let's just get into the top four, and we're there. Maybe an early red will even things out. From experience, John, are you speaking? Yeah, that'll be a thing for sure. Oh, interesting. I'm curious as to a little bit added design component there. I see that they've cleaned some stuff up. So yeah, so don't mind me as I go through today, probably hitting the mute button a couple of times. I'm sure you're going to meet my eldest, who will be making appearances. He wants to say hi to my friends, so that will be interesting. And he's also rocking the Wrexham gear, which I think is awesome. Shout out to the in-laws for making sure they were loaded up with that. Other than that, we're 3 minutes away from kickoff. We're on a commercial break, hopefully getting to this in English. And I'm happy you're here on a Sunday. If you joined us late, no iFollow available for you. Down below, YouTube Scorio, hit the live button, and they'll have the two streams, the Welsh and the English. If you're in the UK, S4C on the TV or the BBC iPlayer. And if you don't have it, let me know, because usually with the women's matches, when it's on iFollow, I tend to end up just chatting, and it's community, and it's that sort of stuff. Brendan, how are you? With this one, with the match being potentially limited in the UK, I don't know if everybody has BBC iPlayer. I don't know if everybody has S4C on their TV. If you don't, scream, holler, let me know, and I'll do a little bit more of the play-by-play and what's happening. Still in Welsh. I'm going to have to bring up the subtitles in the interim. Closed captions are unavailable. We'll wait until we get to the commentator, because the attendance, like, it's great they're playing in the big stadium, but I think that if I was Cardiff City and Wrexham had the attendance smash that we had last season at the end of the year, I would have looked to make this a big event, and say we're taking a title away from Wrexham. We're not going to let them break records for women's attendance in Wales. We're going to do one better, and would have flooded this stadium as much as I could, or have marketed for it. I didn't hear anything. And here come the girls. Oh, the smile on Lily's face as she's coming out. That's awesome. I mean, it's got to be a big thing when they've had games. What was that one that they played? It looked like it was, where was that? Was it Pontypridd? It looked like they had it next to the rec center. The rec center looked like it was some sort of moon landing space center. Hey, Ruth in Tennessee, nice to have you. We've got some English, so for us that don't have the Welsh in our background to be able to pull that out. Yeah, it's still injured, Kim, it appears. Doran is out there. Oh, and somebody brought out their babes. Oh, or the mascot. That's cute. So, I guess not their babes, but they have a wee one there for sure. There you go, Swirly, with the details as to how to pick it up in the UK. For us, yeah, we're stuck in the... at least I've got some English, so I'm happy with that one. But the lineups are up there. Man, Cardiff is stacked, and we're with the backup goaltender. Don't know if it's the same circumstance with Dell that happened before, where she just couldn't get away from work commitments, I understand. Doran out. Still don't know the status of her injury. She got stretchered off, and so expect her to be away for some time anyways. And then you've got Rosie, who's out with injury with a knock, but in the substitute, so maybe coming back. If you haven't joined while you're here, let everybody know that we're also here watching this one. Hit that like button, as John sent out. I didn't put a tweet out for this one. Don't think, just because last night was also date night Me and my wife went out and had a couple of wobbly pops and a good time. We're old people with babysitters, so we were home at 10 or 11, but I didn't get anything done that I wanted to get done as far as this. Easy day for W&G if he's actually even here, because all of the other games went on earlier. I haven't checked the scores. Those should be finals now, which might be able to update the standings. Swansea Women Twitter. Yes, they won away 10 league goals. They won away to Pontypridd. Looks like it was 2-1. Pontypridd's been playing relatively well. The second half of the season, both Barrytown, we saw them. They improved significantly. See how TNS women did. So if you're Wrexham, I think you're just hoping to get stuck in early, defend hard, and try and get this thing close to the half. There you go. Andrew's got it. Did Barrytown see just that? I didn't even look. I did not scratch off Russia. I didn't get that far. It's still there. Wow. See, I just said that, like that 1-0 game that happened when we played Barrytown, I was like, they look a lot better. So that's fascinating. That'll New Saints and the question is just how did Aberystwyth do then? Oh, I gotta get my clock going. There we go. We're underway. If you are not watching, Wrexham going from left to right at Cardiff City Stadium. The Bluebirds going from right to left, and the camera's far away. I feel like I'm going to end up leaning like this over to try and watch the game to see who's got the ball, as it's with Smith and the Cardiff ladies coming to the back line to get this underway. I'm just hoping, because Bolin came in with all sorts of great stock and great reviews. And she didn't perform well. She didn't get a chance really. So I'm hoping if nothing else that she has a better game. Nice little touch through, but it's going to go too far, and the goalkeeper way out. Yeah, it's cavernous. Like, I like the idea of putting it into the big stadiums, but you've got it. Did anybody hear any marketing or see any tweets? Like, I would have anticipated it came up. Plus, you've got the opportunity to sell this for all of the Wrexham fans who are going down to Newport to just say, hey, scooch over to Cardiff. It's not empty, but they're all sitting right behind the tunnel where the players came out. They were talking on podcasts of there being a number of people, dozens, who were going to go down to Newport and take this in as the doubleheader. And I think they had an opportunity to market the hell out of this. And they didn't. Sorry, I'm just trying to get the Aberystwyth score here. If anybody else brought that up. I didn't. Oh, postponed. And so that was, they were playing Cardiff Met, and that would have been a fascinating one because you had earlier this morning, if I can find my table again. Where are we? I'm lost. We had the TNS loss, and so that would have brought them back down. And I'm curious to see 33,280. Yeah, but surely the game deserved, the women's match in Cardiff City Stadium deserves more than just an email, right? Put on a show. Turnover, and here they come the other way, looking that we've got two in back, and it's bounced and Boland able to get there. I'm not sure that deflect out for a corner. Don't like the pace. I think that was a ball that Boland could have got there. Effort was in. Like 280, that's what the race course pulls. I don't know. Frustrating. If you're going to, I like the idea. I don't want to discourage it, but it seemed like an opportunity where you had the opportunity. You got S4C picking it up. You got Wrexhamites already in South Wales heading down for a game. Could have made a whole event of this and didn't. So corner comes out, just cleared back out. Jones just punching it out. And we run again. So they haven't updated. Obviously, the women's table takes a while to update. But Swansea going to go up 3 points to 25. So if we're able to pull Cardiff back, they could be tightening up the top of the race. Ball a little bit too far on the corner. It's just going to roll into the corner as Cardiff maintains possession. But with TNS's loss, with TNS not playing, and TNS lost. Aberystwyth didn't play. They've got a game in hand and 4 points back. So the battle for 4th and 5th and the right to enter into the top half of the draw is getting closer and closer. So that'll be interesting to see. Hopefully we don't fall into that mix. Nice ball forward. Is Suckley able to get there? I'm going to be honest. It's going to be interesting when Rosie gets back, because I think Suckley's performed exceptionally well. So the question is do you bring a Lightfoot up in her normal role with running with Rosie, or do you leave her in her current position and put Ava up there? I'm tending to look to Suckley. Hey, Brendan, thanks. I really like that cop video. It's one of the ones I'm the most proud of, and it's also one of the worst performing. So maybe maybe I got to change things up. Hi, bud.
Hi. I want to show them my shorts.
You want to show them your shirt? Okay, you can show them your shirt. This is Spencer. Do you want to say hi to everybody?
Hi.
Hi. Do you want to open up your arms so they can see your cool jersey? Do you like it? Yeah? Can you say up the town?
Up the town.
Yeah, right on, man. Okay, you gonna go hang out?
Yes.
Cool. Love ya.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, the other one.
Come too?
He doesn't have a jersey because he's got to head out. Sorry, it's gonna be madness in here. Come say hi. Here, put this on. Come say hi, and then I can focus on what I'm doing. There you go. Hello.
Ah.
There you go. Say hi, everybody. This one's Walter.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, bye. Hack. Thank you. Oh, mass chaos. Yeah, I got to give that to the in-laws. They set the house up with a whole bunch of Wrexham stuff, and yes, future sheepshaggers for sure. The nice thing is they've got some Welsh genealogy, ancestry into them, descendants of the Price family in South West Wales. Don't hold that against me. And so it's nice to have that as the ball's coming forward. Well defended, blocked out. Oh no, chipped over top. We had it all covered. What the hell? How do I describe that goal from Boland? This is what I didn't want, was a goal early on as against Boland, who's, I'm going to be honest, Akers looks a heck of a lot better, and I really want Boland to do well. She came in with all of the stock, but I don't know what's going on here. She, blocked out. That's your ball to go and get. She doesn't go and get it. I think that was played well, but good on the Cardiff forward for just continuing to proceed and just not enough gumption. Ugh. Not okay. Oh, and I didn't change the color on the... I'm not going to worry about that now. It's going to be yellow for Cardiff City today. Miscommunication, but also that's Boland. That's the keeper to go and get it. You can see the defenders boxing out. As soon as the box out happens, run out and grab the damn ball. Anyway, whoa, that's got to be a free kick, no? Got her legs in from behind. Nice ball through. A little bit of magic here. Is it going to go too far? Well defended. Knocked out. We'll get a throw. Yeah, I'm with Kim there. I'm gonna have to. I thought I saw Mackenzie, but I don't believe I saw Olden. Let me just bring that up really quickly here. Did I not type Mackenzie in to this morning? I'm just only going off of my recollection as to. Line up, rotate. Where am I? Maybe I didn't type in Mackenzie. Maybe that was that yesterday. I'm all confused. I'm sure I typed out Mackenzie. And now I'm nervous. Did I get it wrong? Kim with the absolute gold early in the morning. Come on, man. Our girl woman like this is Rob Layton would have stopped that. That would have got stretchered off. What's the score on this one? Because I'm citing that one as the quote for the game. That's well done, Kim. You can stay with your comedy prowess for sure, permanently. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Was I wanted to be able to for the girls to get stuck in and for Boland to get a couple of touches early, get some confidence, and I was hoping to be able to see something where even if something did go in, you were comfortable and confident with her back there, and instead the opposite has happened. She had that corner that she gave away that I think she was a little late getting to. There, nice ball in. I love that. And Cardiff City turning it up now and going the other way. Man, the pace with the ball and outpacing, but well defended. I thought I typed in Mackenzie this morning, and now I feel like I've got to go back to the Twitter AFC, Andrew, and just have look at their lineup again because I don't know. It was sitting with me. Yeah, no Mackenzie, no Olden. Yeah, it's do you if there's another one, here's the question, and I don't know what the transfer situation is and the semi-pro wages and all that sort of stuff, and I recognize that our backup Akers is only 16, 17. But that game that she had, she made some big saves. She earned us that 3 points. Not entirely. There was a team performance, but there were a weaker goalie would have let some of those in. I don't want to start a goalie controversy on the women's program in the backup position, but it's been impressive it was impressive to see her. I'd be interested to see what happens here because Boland, despite all the pedigree and all of the stuff, just hasn't looked good. Blocked and over into the penalty area. Cardiff starting to sniff around in the box, searching. Dell is very, very good. Dell is clearly number one. I'm not creating a controversy there by any stretch of the imagination, but I would love the idea of having Akers getting the chance to play more than just the academy matches. Oh, I don't know. That's ball first and no studs up. But anyway, foul called and we move on. Pritchard taking that one. What did she get here? Oh, no. Okay. I'll take that back. This is why I don't ref. Apparently, I get it wrong more often than I get it right. Thanks, Andrew. Sorry. I stand to be corrected. No Dell today. Yeah, and I don't know if I didn't search Twitter for that. I was more interested in trying to find out the status of Duran and wasn't able to do so other than that tweet. So I don't know if anybody else has heard anything. Is that one dangerous? And it rolls out and going to go for a free kick instead of a goal kick? Is that... Oh, offside. Yep. I'm still so frustrated about that goal yesterday because if that perfect shot hadn't gone through and beat Ogonko into that top little corner, we'd be having a very different conversation where we went in a man down, had a gutsy performance, and came out with a draw. Advanced forward. That's there and available. Oh, well done. It's still there by Jones looking for Suckley. Can't get it in there, and in comes Pritchard rolling over and flicked away a card. There must have been... That's two, I guess, in a row for Pritchard already early. Not two yellow cards, two fouls early on. Is it because she got her boots down? I don't know how... What did she get there? That was a quick yellow. Like, did she make contact? It looked to me like she was trying to get out of the way, was running after the ball. Player ended up sticking in and intercepting it and knocking it the other way, and she got out of the way. Hey. There's this. I knew it was not able to get there off of the deflection because it goes too far. No harm, no foul. We move on. Why can't I see that chat in my message? There it is. John highlighting, we've had 5 red cards this year, and that was the first loss. Not too shabby. I'm with you. Gotta cut back on those reds, but I don't know. A lot of argument on Twitter whether that was a red card or not. Yes, he got ball first. Did he have the suds up at the knees? Yes. Make contact, sure. So I can get it. It just sucks because it could have been a completely different narrative. Instead, have to listen to Newport podcasts all talking about how poor we are and how they're coming up and blah, blah, blah. It's there. Somebody's got these loose balls in the box and Cardiff just poaching like mad. Dangerous. Oh, we were certainly outplayed, but I thought at the first 10 minutes they outplayed us. We turned the table. We were outplaying them for 5-10 and in control and starting to set ourselves. And then yellow in the old days, old time football, old time hockey. That's what we need to bring back. Fisticuffs and everything. Rosie looks pretty good there. If you're watching on TV, running up and down the sideline, she looks relatively comfortable. I don't even know what the situation was with her, to be fair. Surprised me last week. How crazy it is that next week we're back with a women's game first. That game last night was amazing. I still can't figure out the Canucks. There's no reason. If you don't follow ice hockey, I support a team called the Vancouver Canucks, and they are thumping their way through the league, and they really have no business in doing it. Most people had them mid-table, bottom third, and instead they're top 4. Yeah, that should always be the filter. If that happened against us, would we be screaming red legitimately, right? And that takes me all the way back to the Notts County Mullen shout out for the red card on Jones. Notts County fans are all agree, and I don't see that as a red. Like if that little interplay that happened on the sidelines where Mullen kind of got twisted and they got into a little bit of a stomping, kicking, nobody hit each other fight. That wasn't even a fight. It was a tantrum session. They're both getting yellow and go on your way. And I would have been like, that's fair. The game's not on. It's being televised, Woody. And so it's down below. You've got all the links there. So nothing on iFollow. You've got to run over to YouTube, to Scorio, hit the live button. There's 2 streams, a Welsh one and an English one. Choose as your language capacities permit, or you're interested. Hell, if you wanted to listen to the entire game in Welsh, you have that opportunity, even if whether you do or don't know the language. Dangerous. Oh. And to be fair, Bolin was there, came out and had that angle covered. But a nice little play down to first touch there. Is it Kehoe 17 that I was looking at as being, I remember from the last game being something special? That one, yeah, that's Kehoe again. I'm pretty confident that it's been her. I love you, Cardiff, more than my mom. I think I think there's some truth to that. I think there's some truth to that. We'll get you hooked, Kim. We'll get you hooked eventually. Oh. Ooh, tough to have a watch party when the satellite goes out and the screen goes black. There we go. 18 minutes through, still ticking along. Nothing really threatening that Wrexham's brought forward. And really, Cardiff, they've had the couple of corners. But other than that one chance that was well defended and Boland just didn't come out and get it. Rolls out. Going to be a throw in over from the corner. Why are we running away so far? Did that not go on the right side of the flag? Defend the throw. Is that a striker? Just lasers and daggers, right? Nothing else. All good, Woody. Glad to be here. Glad to help and get everybody into it. The remix that's happening, is it just my screen where the satellite keeps going out and I'm getting the remix? With sticks and skates and more violence and blood. Alex, how are you? Nice to see you. It's a late start. I'm a little bit more what's the word? Clear-headed, unfogged. Oh, right in front, we've got an opportunity to chip over and not much of a threat. Jones sort of just put that one on net, didn't really get anything behind it, and nobody was running forward to try and poach it. That's what all we need, right? There we go. That's a better shot, but right into the belly. We're sniffing around. We're okay. Let's get into this. Kehoe with it. You know what? It is her that I remember being down that right side all the way through. And did she play on the Welsh national team? Do I have that correct? Because she's been impressive every time I've seen her. And I'm assuming it's Kehoe. John with the positivity. Ava, you know what? I'd like to see Lily get one. It's been a while for her, and she's kind of got the Elliot Lee. I don't want to say disappearance act, but just not the same. Oh, the great ball through, and just missed there. Number 9. Did I mess up the numbers? Or did I just not read that right from how far away it was on the screen? That looked like number 9, didn't it? I don't like surprises. Oh, number 9. I don't even have a number 9 on their roster. Is that Cook? Or am I seeing things? I don't even have a 9 in the women's team for Cardiff. And so I don't know what that was and who that was. And maybe I'm just seeing things. Well, it's got... Have we heard how long O'Connor's out? Is it 8 weeks? Is that what the story is? I mean, red card, so suspensions are servable in other competitions. So Boyle cannot play unless they look to rescind it and they actually agree. So he's out. Do you draw George back and go with Cannon and Jones up with Lee? Like we've done that before. Yeah, and I don't even know what happened. It must have been a training injury, or did he just slip down the stairs at the house, or what happened? Yeah, I don't know. That's concerning. Wrexham with possession, flipped through and just outnumbered and mobbed over on the right side, and I think that's Kehoe again. No, that's not Kehoe. That's Price. Great last name. Gotta turn the gains up. That is a number 9. Who are you? There you go. It's official. That's 2 people on board. We're creating a goaltending controversy on the women's side. Not much to the game as far as opportunities back and forth. Nothing really threatening, but both teams just sort of box to box push of the ball, get set up and not able to get across. There's Lightfoot. I've preferred her, to be fair. I know that she's capable of scoring. I've preferred her in that role. The little one is out, and that leaves me with the eldest for the duration. Coming forward, 15. Every time you see Keogh with the ball, I get nervous. You just and I tried to find whether I was right that she's has some national game appearances as well. I haven't actually looked at the Welsh women's team to find out the yellow card on Davis. Welsh women's national team. Current players. Delivered in, miscommunication, goes out. Boland. Whew. That was a yellow card. Yes. The Welsh national team, only one player from the Welsh division. So I'm wrong with Molly Kehoe being one of them. All of the women in the women's the English women's competition or the Scottish, and I think I saw one who played in the US. No? Yeah, Seattle. Jess Fishlock, 37, plays for Seattle Reign. So away from the WSL, the Women's Super League. Interesting. Crossed over and not collected, so it's going to go for a corner. Yeah, I was just looking. I assumed there were going to be a couple from the Adran Premier League, but that's not the case. You go through the Welsh national squad, and there it is all women's SPL, other than the Heart of Midlothian, who is the Scottish Women's Premier League. There's somebody at Real Betis playing in the top women's division in Spain. And other than Laura O'Sullivan, who is no longer, I don't know where she's at. Laura O'Sullivan was a keeper at Cardiff City, and I don't know where she's at. But I thought usually you get one or two. Another Boland bottle. It's not. I want her to do well. She has all the stock and all the report. I just don't. You know how when you see, like I'm nervous when she's back there, and I'm just sitting over near Vancouver watching the game. Another corner crossed in, and a free kick, relieving the pressure. I do remember semi-pro. Usually you get a couple of young players, and maybe it's because the game's not there's still not enough, and I say not enough, not to be negative, but not enough in the sense that I'm hoping that there's more of them. But the divide between the top tier and the lower tiers is massive in the women's game, and you can see that across all sports. And you see that in hockey, where it's Canada, the US, and then you kind of have Finland and Sweden and kind of the Czechs getting close. You see it in football, where you've got England, superpowers, Spain, Germany, Canada, the USA, Australia, and then there's a big drop off. And it's to me, it's largely a numbers game and a funding issue. And I expected, like, you look at the Canadian national team. Yes, we have every top division in Europe covered except for the Premier League, right? Bundesliga, La Liga, the League One in France, we're all covered. But then there's a couple of Super League, Canadian Super League, our Canadian Premier League players who are sniffing around for opportunities, young guys. And it doesn't look like that on the women's side. So a corner for us. Let's get one off of a set piece here. Create some drama. Ava just chilling, backing up, waiting to engage. Flat ball, flat delivery, knocked down. Lily's going to get it again. And can she chip it up? Well done. Into the box, up in the air. And going to go for a goal kick. Great idea. I love it. Are there any? See, the thing that's an interesting question, Swirly, for a lot of reasons. The reason why there are those 5 Welsh teams, 4 of them currently operational, that are in the English divisions, English competitions, because of history. We helped build it, so we get the reward of being able to compete in it. With the women's game, are there any non-English squads in the Women's Super League? Yes, Stephen. Sorry, I missed that. Down below is how to watch it. The game's not on all iFollow, so worldwide, and I can't remember, Steve, where you're at. If that, and whether you're at anyways, if you're worldwide, youtube.com/Scorio. If you're in the UK, you're on S4C on the TV or on BBC iPlayer. And if you go to Scorio, which you can go with a VPN if you want to, irrespective of where you are, there's an English and a Welsh version available for you. He's in Texas, you think? Sounds right. It's like first names and meeting people and locations. I got to be better at that. Dangerous cross in, Boland up, over, and whoo, off the top of the woodwork. Is that going to be a confidence builder? Sounds more authentic. Yeah, I'm going to find out. Texas, I thought. Vermont. Now it's a trivia game. Do we do a poll? Where do you think Stephen is from? I'm going to find out next Monday what additional language I'm learning. It's either going to be Mandarin, French, or Welsh, depending on what kid my gets into for school. Oh, dangerous. That was, you know what? Boland knocked that away. A little bit more confidence there and able to clear. She came out. I'm okay with that and knocked away. If my kid gets into the Mandarin program, then I'm learning some Mandarin. Gets into the French program, then I'm learning some French. Doesn't get into a language program, hey, then I'm learning Welsh, because that's just what I'll do. Yeah, it's, to be fair, Woody, yes, absolutely. And it's been consistently that way throughout this season. They have been dominating everybody. I expected more from Cardiff Met. I mean, 6 titles. I didn't think that the semi-pro creation, Wrexham, Cardiff City, and Swansea going semi-pro would have that much of an effect and have them drop off. I don't know if it's just a blip in the program or the new reality. I'm curious to see what happens with Cardiff Met. Ball in, chipped over top. Oh, it's knocked down, and you can't. You can't. You got Boland, no mistake on that one. She had a difficult save to make. I don't think she could have done anything else other than that. She knocked down the first one, but wasn't able to control it. And I don't think, maybe positionally, could she have gotten better where she could have collected that? I don't think so, just the way it deflected in. But outnumbered. And here comes the cross. And she's got to come out for the shot. And I don't think she came out and she made the first save. I don't know what she. Yeah, that spinning ball. She. There we go. I don't know what the prize is for John or what the penalty is for Brendan. But good morning. And hey, Ruth. Pleasure to have everybody. I like these Sunday mornings. It tends to be the regulars, the familiars. Though it's John 8 should be a mod. Yeah, and you know what? I want to look into the mod thing more than anything else to add some more polls and to do all that sort of stuff. I got to figure all that out. What I need is to have like 2 weeks to do everything I want to do. That's just Red Horde related. Not enough time. Oh, dangerous kick away. Offside. That might be a good coaching tip for the defenders to make sure that they don't allow the attackers to have 10 yards. Oh yeah, sorry. I was in disbelief. I do love this new setup, by the way. It's so much easier than the other one. I wish it had a feature to be able to add more scores and be controlled remotely. Then it'd be glorious. Crossed in, Watkins pushing forward for Cardiff. Gets it in. Kehoe's just everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. All 3 games now that we've played, she just box to box, a little bit more on the right side, I guess, but just not a. I mean, I'm a fan. I just wish she wasn't doing the damage to us. She represents the Cayman Islands national team? Pardon me? 19 years of age and a Cayman Islands international. I love that the fact that there's a nickname for it that fits perfectly with the persona that's known around the world, and it's a proud thing, right? Canadians are like, oh, sorry, we're polite and we're nice and we're whatever, and then you get the people from Massachusetts who, the moniker they've given themselves, massholes. I think absolutely brilliant. Cardiff City moving forward, defended well, turned around, pushing the back there. You got to do what we did last night, just 3 or 4 drinks, and the old people, we were in the Uber at 10 o'clock at night to go and spell the babysitter. And I was like, all of the young kids were walking in the door and we were walking out. And I was like, how did this all happen? Deflection is going to go for a corner. Nothing that can be done there.
We were the old couple at the bar. And then the DJ set up like next to the bar. And then a bunch of younger people came in and they were like, the DJ was like, "Oh, are you guys leaving?" and scored the seats up that we were in for a couple of lasses that sat next to the DJ. And they were all like, "Oh, we're so apologetic and we're so sorry. We didn't mean to take your spot. You could have stayed longer." And I was like, we are those old people that, God, didn't have Clamato juice. I was drinking Dirty Shirley's, no judgment. Oh, that header, all there had opportunities. Oh, was that head on head? Well done on Bolin collecting there. Would have liked to have gotten into that far post, but we dodge a bullet and it's still just 2-0. But yeah, Dirty Shirley's and jalapeno margaritas. As a Vikings fan, I support the fact that the Green Bay lost and that it was as a result of the kicks or the lack thereof. I only have to know one. So we always play the goal kicks when Bolin's in to the side as well. What is it, Dirty Shirley? It's a Shirley Temple with alcohol. So what is it? Grenadine, 7-Up, grapefruit juice, maraschino cherry. I had myself some liver and onions and a sticky toffee pudding. The best one I've had in Canada by far. I play at a place called the St. James Well in Port Moody. Hey, Joris, welcome. Thanks for joining again. Nice to see you. Everybody checking in on a Sunday in a 2-0. We've had 1-2 corners, and Lily had 2 shots that weren't really that threatening, but I guess we're there. And it's pretty much been Cardiff, especially lately in our half, just sort of searching. Kehoe, that's not a foul. Did she step on her? I didn't think that was I think she milked that. Oh, no, she got her on the side. Yeah, that's a foul. All right, take it back. Brendan, right? And then I was sitting there and I was like, a Dirty Shirley. I was like, why don't more people drink Dirty Shirleys instead of Shirley Temples? Put the alcohol in it. It tasted great as a kid. Anyway, we're going to have a free kick from right in front of the box. Right footer. It's there. Boland. Well done. Chipped in right to her, though. Not a lot of thump on it, but that's her job, and she takes it. I believe there actually is. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it because I work commitments and having to take off the Monday for the FA Cup. If somebody wants to do a watch party for the women's match, I could throw that out there, and the setup would take a little bit of time, but not a bad idea for if somebody wanted to do it, to figure out how to do all that sort of magic. Yeah, but they've got their game to make up against. Is it Pontypridd? So yeah, that's the 24th on Wednesday, and it's an 11:45 start. If I'm able to do it, it will be late. If I'm also able to do it, it'll probably be from the laptop at work. But we've got 2 women's matches before the next men's match. They'll have the TNS on the road, and then Aberystwyth coming to the Rock to play. Cardiff is just class of the league. They're a step above everybody. It'll be interesting. There was a Twitter thread, and I wish I could recall who did it. And it was about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, from somebody who took the time to go through all of the top award-winning players of the North Welsh women's squads to end up saying, if we're going to compete with Cardiff and Swansea, we've got to retain the Northern Welsh women, and get them into Wrexham. And so here are the top players, and talked about some of the funding issues, and talked about not funding issues, but like the funding capacities, means of developing and marketing a little bit. It was a 10, 12 thread, 12 post thread. And Cardiff is by far top of the league. They've had 1 draw all year. They've handled Swansea and Wrexham, who are second and third, relatively comfortably. To me, there's 4 different batches. You've got Cardiff, who's top of the top and clear of everybody. Then you've got Swansea and Wrexham that sit next to that. Then you've got TNS and Aberystwyth that are there. Cardiff Met should be in that group, but Cardiff Met surprises me with how poor they are this year. 6-time champions. And then you've got Barrytown and Pontypridd, who are going to be scrambling to stay out of it. And then there's talk, is it possible to add more teams to the top division? Go from 8 to say 10. I don't know what that does for games, and if you end up doing the split of 5 and 5, if you go to 10, go to 12, and then make divisions with it. And I'm not saying divisions, but like in North American sports, you have an East and West. Have like a 6 in the North, 6 in the South. Have play 2 within your division and 1 against the South. People say that's not fair if you're talking promotion relegation and within the same competition. But you got to come up with something creative to get more women facing the Cardiffs and the Swanseas to get pulled up. Yeah, where did she come from? Like, well, we know where she came from, the Cayman Islands, but 19 years old, comes over. Did she just head over on a trial and was like, I'm going to go and see if I can hang out in Wales? And so I'm going to go to Cardiff City. Does she have Welsh family? But like, she's just everywhere and settled and controlled. That's what Wrexham needs to do. It needs to go and raid like the Vancouver Whitecaps, Women's Whitecaps Academy or something. Just go searching for young players that haven't been found. Just like the old days with the men, where you could still find jewels somewhere and not everybody knew everybody. I missed just 1 minute of extra time, so this one's going to end pretty quickly here and get into halftime. Turned, cornered, and we've got it. All right. Whew. Bainan? Stephen, that's a long story, and there is a Welsh Premier League, and the English hate the fact that there are Welsh teams who play in the English Football League. Back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, when the EFL was created, there were Welsh clubs that helped build that. Not immediately in the 1800s, but over time they added tiers. They started with tier 1, then they went to tier 2, then they had to tier 3, and then they went tier 3 north south, and then they went to tier 4. They invited some Welsh teams to join, so that's why you have Welsh teams grandfathered in to the English Football League. For those other teams, other than those 5 that helped start the whole process, they play in the Welsh division, and the English not all, but there are a lot of English football fans who hate the fact that there are Welsh clubs that are still playing in the EFL. Cardiff City, Swansea, Wrexham, Newport, and there's one other that starts with an M, I believe, who, if they're still operational or way far down in the leagues, I can't remember what it is. Anyway, those are the 5 that are grandfathered in, and they think that they should all go play in the Welsh leagues. Where you see it go nuts is there was a run that Swansea went into the FA Cup because the FA Cup winner gets an automatic qualification into the UEFA Europa competition. And the question that came about, and it started, I think, in 1980-81, and it was confirmed again when Swansea went on their recent run through, is what happens if a Welsh club ends up taking that spot? And that's what Kim was referencing early. There's still an obligation that they fly an English flag if they take the English spot, because it's the Welsh Premier League team that gets a spot in the qualifying rounds of those competitions. So my clock is still running, so I'm going to stop that. I don't know if that was as accurate as I think it was accurate, but it wasn't. Oh, sorry, Swirly. Yes, thank you. It wasn't the EFL; it was the Football League, but it was Well, you can't call it the UK League because back historically, Scotland separated itself from it, right? You've always... Merthyr Town, thank you. Kim with the answer. And I don't know what their history was. I just knew that there was another team that was out there that started with an N. Merthyr Town FC in the Southern League Premier Division South, the 7th tier of the EFL. All right, now we know. So it can't be the UK League. It could be the EWFL or EFL, WEFL. Class of the chat. Someone get Kim a dirty Shirley. Kim has all answers, all humor. We're gonna do an open mic night. Hey Kim, you're gonna have to join at a halftime, and we're gonna have to have a banter and a chat. I'll probably get worked over with your wit, but if you were down for that, I'm sure we'd be down for that. I keep trying to figure out how to make this post-match live party thing work, or podcast. It's so hard, that timeline. Trying to get the time zones to align is a way harder process than I anticipated that it would be with everybody's schedules. Come on. There we go. 45. Set that. And we're good. We're ready for the half. I don't remember if Steven's right. They do have their own competitions. I don't recall what the women's I don't recall what the Irish league is called, but they have their own separate leagues and have historically all the way through. Completely distinct. And so I don't know. I would love for the fact of a Welsh team taking one of the spots in the Europa, just because there are a lot of flat cappers who would lose their mind. And me and flat cappers and sports governance have a long, long history. John, haven't heard a bloody thing. But Ogonko and Fletcher were late. And so I just keep saying, if it's going to be somebody, they're going to be late too, right? An understanding wife, Stephen. That's the answer. If I hadn't married a Southern Yorkshire lass, I don't think I'd be doing this. Because she's happy to do it because it's all football related, and she's just like, I get it. It's sort of ingrained into the thing that guys are going to do the football stuff, and you just gotta cope. And she's seen it grow up her entire life with it. Her eldest brother played goal for Chesterfield for a time, so don't hold that against the family. He's a decent guy. Yes. Yeah, and Stockport's loaded up. They've got a couple of loanees that came in, right? And we're still waiting. I don't know. Do I still think we've got enough to get through anyway? Yes. Here's the kicker: is I don't want to sign any more mercenaries. I don't want the 28 and above players. 28 maybe. Let's call it 29 and above players. They certainly serve a role, and I like McLean, and Fletcher's awesome, but I want to start looking towards long-term sustainable. Bring in the 24 to 26-year-olds and let's nurture them and get them going. I'm going to take just a very brief moment. I'm not going to even bring up the video. Just walk away and go and check on the eldest who and see what's going on there, and then I'll be back just in time for the second half. And then we'll chat about a couple other things, and hopefully Wrexham is going to be able to pull this one back. It's Chesterfield. Yeah, no, Chester would be a different thing. I'm pretty sure we wouldn't be talking. Not like we talk a lot anyway as brothers-in-laws, but I'm sure the Christmas dinner would be a lot more awkward if he had played for Chester. But yeah, I can see somebody coming in. Look, the reality is, at the end of the day, if we don't bring somebody in at the center back, especially with Tom O'Connor out, what are we doing in the backs? And somebody, and I can't remember who it was earlier in the chat, said, "What's our back line look like now?" I am not an EOC fan. There are lots of people who think Ewan O'Connell is. I don't. I know. I just don't. I'm not. I'm just gonna go there. He makes me nervous every time that he's out there. So you bring in Hayden. He's been soft. I don't even know, like Parky calling him out and basically intimating that he was soft. It's hard for a guy to be motivated to play for you if you feel like you're banged up and you're not getting support of the coach. So it'll be interesting to see how Parky Hayden dynamic is work, because that's the first time I can recall where Parky sort of gone south on a player and vocalized it. So you've got that story. You've got the O'Connell situation. You've got Max, who's doing the job and deserves like all of the credit that he can get for the work that he's been doing. But yeah, we need a pacey center back. And the thing is talking to people who are in the know. I'm not one of those people, by the way. So I'm relying on them who talk about the difference in the game in League One to League Two is you don't just need the aerial duels. It is play through the ground, and it's going to be a battle. You need pacey center backs, and that's not what we've got right now. So, we will see what happens. Yeah, Kim, you're exactly on point with where I'm thinking. We are getting people back, and lots of people have stock in Tunnicliffe. It's interesting as a documentary follower of Wrexham, who then only picked up streaming. It's been like a year. I just don't have enough film on Tunney to know exactly what he can and can't bring. So it'll be interesting. I haven't checked the stats to see today how we're pulling on this one. I always like to kind of just see how the stream's been doing. If you haven't got a chance, that cop video, by the way, even if you skip through some of it, I do think that there's some good stuff in there. It took me a long time to sort of weed through. It's got 248 views. If you get the chance, go there and bump a like button on it, just because I'd like that to be seen, just because it took so much damn time. I get that regulation's it's not everybody's thing. Wrexham women, 116 views, 21 concurrent viewers at top, 184 messages. Sort of a typical women's match. I wish they would have sold this better. You're freeing up Cardiff City Stadium for a game. So thanks, Woody. Yeah, no, I felt good. Like, there's videos I put out there that I'm like, yes, Jonas, this game is being streamed. Joris, it's down below. You can, if worldwide, you go to youtube.com/Scorio. If you're in the UK, you can pick it up on the TV on S4C or with the BBC iPlayer. So jump there and see it. I don't think everybody does, John. I know that for a fact that it's not everybody. I have a lot of my top demographic is 55 to 65-year-old men who watch on the YouTube in the UK. And they not a lot of likes from them, and not a lot of subscribes, but they watch for hours. And I think I've chatted with one of them, and he just says he enjoys the content. When he's doing the dishes, he puts my stuff up and he just lets the video run in the background of the house. And so there's lots of interesting, the reflection off of the turf thing in the back. I think it's fascinating that people are doing that. So that's most people. They never comments, never likes, just exists. I don't know where people are from unless they tell me, or how they view unless they tell me. I can get general demographics. Like I know that the city that I'm most watched in is London. Interesting. I know that the United States, I get even on a population, a per capita rate, I get way more viewers out of the US than I do in Canada, which is, I guess, a little bit confirming to me that there's more per capita support in Wrexham than there is in Canada. Interestingly enough, to me, number 4 on my list is Australia, but it gives me all those details. Hey, Denise, nice to have you here. Welcome. I don't think I've seen you before from the Oregon coast, and I tend to remember those from the Pacific Northwest because being a northern neighbor. Comment of the day: the women don't flop. The women are tough as nails. They're not out there looking for stuff. Yeah, and there's things I've been debating. Like I think with my videos, a lot of them, when I do the deep dive, you need the graphics to be able to digest it, and so I don't podcast it. YouTube's made it easier to do that. There's 3 things that I'd like to do. The one is the after 90 minutes. Oh, we're getting underway here, and I'm going to have to stick my head in here. Just give me a second to make sure I get the clock going when the whistle blows and they kick the ball. I don't know. I think that crowd that they've got here would fit into the Rock. If you saw that overhead shot. Thanks, Brendan. No, I spent a lot of time to try and synthesize it down because it wasn't making any sense to me, and I had to take like a day or two and be like, I need to dumb this down for me. How do I dumb this down for me? And that was what I came in with, and I was like, I'm just going to keep this, make it pretty. And so put in the extra work. I'm still working on the Academy video, but I want to have a little bit more of just the fun, chit-chatty videos with either the podcast and the hot stove, which it's just difficult to plan for timing that where I can get something where it works for everybody. And maybe I can't. Maybe I just get it out and done. And the other one is I do want to set up the post-match stuff because there's a lot of people who attend. It looked like a handball there that just got knocked down, but we're fine there. Yeah, I'm with you, Woody. But if you build it, they will come. I mean, you look at the professional women's hockey league that started. They're selling out at like 20,000 stadiums for ice hockey. The Australian World Cup, the Women's World Cup, they've set attendance records through that thing throughout. The women's NBA has grown like 340% over the last 2 years. The women's game is rightfully so getting a lot more coverage. And with that comes more money. And with that comes salary and reason for and opportunity for women to do it. And I see all of sport getting into that pie more and more. And the fans are coming because it's being put out there. So let's hope. That's Kehoe stirs the drink, doesn't she? You know what? That's down the road, but it could be done. It's with the setup that I have here. I can bring in 2, 3, 5 people. It would be helpful if I had. Kehoe, she's everywhere, and misses it. All right, no finish, but she's. Somebody find out where her mother and father were born. Was she born in the Cayman Islands? I think she was actually born in the U.S. I don't know if she's good enough to make the U.S. national team. But find out where her genealogy is and get her away from the Cayman Islands. Yeah, Cayman Islands lost 6-0 to Curacao. And then 2-0 to Curacao. They drew Anguilla. Voted to be player of the month by 72%. Country of birth is the Cayman Islands. $26,000. See, like, Kim, that's exactly what we're talking about. I agree with you, Swirly. It isn't comparable at all, but it's just the women's NBA, the football, all of it is getting more and more coverage. There's large, significant growth throughout. So that's all I was trying to get there. And that's what I was hoping for. Even in a loss, that's what I was hoping for. To be fair, I was kind of hoping for a draw. It'd be nice. I am with you, Denise. I'm absolutely 100% with you. If I had more time to do things, I would certainly add it. The reality too is there's such horrible information out on the internet. The score updates are never live. You have to follow them after you get updates after the game. The injury stuff is not reported. Nobody really digs. And without being on the ground, it's near impossible for me to get the details. I had to, the Wikipedia pages only got updated this year because I remember looking in the summer and couldn't find a bloody thing. And somebody's got to talk to the Adran Trophy Premier League about their website that doesn't work, as Kehoe is up there again. She's everywhere. But something I'm definitely interested in doing, also would need to get more time. Yeah, Swirly had it. Their website is garbage. How many times do you get that damn spinning circle and no stats? There's no information on the women. Hell, even some of the team sites don't have all of the players. Cook, and to be fair, I don't know the jersey number for our backup goalkeeper. Anchors. Cook isn't on their lineup, and so it's frustrating. But it's getting better, and that's part of the process. And so we'll be here. I'll be here throughout. I enjoy doing these. I probably won't be able to pick up the Wednesday game. We'll see how work goes. It's been hellaciously busy. Knockdown turning. No, they're not. They're going to get it out into the corner here. Punched up over, searching, and Boland covered that one well. There's been a little bit more confidence. Maybe somebody had her in the ear during the half and saying, you got to go out and you got to get some ball. Excuse me. I think that's a North American versus European difference. Yes, there is marketing of, the Suns and all of the top players in the Premier League and all that sort of stuff. But beyond that, I mean, off the top of your head, name the top 5 scorers in League 2. Right? Talk about Louis Barry on loan and all that sort of stuff. There's no, the marketing of the players is an unknown entity, which is different than what we're used to. If you like the players. Yeah, I got that. Too many dirty Shirleys. Is that going to have to be am I going to have to get a dirty Shirley emoticon and put that up there for everybody to deal with? How sad is that, Swirly, when you've got to go all like ninja just to be able to get information from the league? Like, look, I'm not going to criticize. It's probably some volunteer kid putting together this stuff because there's probably not a lot of money in it, unfortunately. So you take what you can get. Ooh, dangerous, bold. I don't think I'd have the guts to go down there. John, no, I haven't made any new ones. I haven't known which ones to put out there. Oh, and it actually shows up with the bog, the flop, the putts, and the thing. Hey, that's cool. Oh, you always stay with the badge. You always stay with the team. But I can sit there and talk to you about Kazim Kadri and talk to you about the top 8 to 10 players on all 32 teams in the NHL, and have like a real deep conversation about their playing style, their strengths, their weaknesses, all that sort of stuff. I find that to be very rare. There are certainly some that have the capacity to have that conversation. And I'm not there yet, but the challenge is getting that information ramped up. It's a challenge. And I just don't think that they market like the Miro Heiskanens of the world. Heiskanen, and I mispronounced his name. And I don't know who Alicia Lehman is. I'd hope that polling men to the women's game is because it's entertaining, first. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that the strike rate is the same, but and the power behind the ball is the same, and that the pace down the field is the same as the men's game. But it is competitive. It is storytelling. It is invigorating for those purposes, and that's why it's interesting and fun to watch. And I enjoy it. I want the stories, and the stories involve people, and that's why Welcome to Wrexham does so well. In any event, still 55th minute, 2-0. I'm with you, John. I mean, I don't follow. There's only so much time free time that I have. And so I invest all of it into Wrexham and League Two. And does it look like Rosie's getting notes to come in? I agree with the broadcaster. You have to give a lot of credit. I was hoping Wrexham would be challenging to be in the top 4. We have healthily secured ourselves in the top 4. Boland, those little pattery steps that Boland has just makes me nervous. Like she's still thinking about it as it's coming towards her. 100%. Stories sell. Stories are what connect, and it's the people who tell the story. Otherwise, we'd be watching esports, right? And just watching people run around with the players, and that's just as entertaining. It's, to me, it's the human dynamic, it's the personalities, it's the drama, and that means we as fans have to invest, and we select our time and investment. So give us the goods, give us the story. That actually went out. Interesting. A transplant. You know what? The one phrase that I get from the English all the time, a colonial. I get called that all the time when I'm in South Yorkshire. Oh, but you're a colonial. What? Yes, we were a British colony. That's been a long time ago. mean, you mind we still have a king as our head of state here north of the border. Interesting. No, I do want to know their life story because it's James McLean's history and the antipathy towards him from the English because of his political beliefs that intrigues me. It's the celebration of the A and autism and his relationship with his kid that makes you be like, yeah, we can do that one better. It's Mullen and Langstaff and their battle as they were going through, and not they didn't, I don't, from what I've read and heard, didn't have any hatred towards each other, but the fans and the discussion about who's better, and Macaulay he's a poacher and he can't kick the ball. He just scores tap-ins. So Sharp down, I didn't see what actually resulted in that. To me, I want to know who they don't like and all that sort of stuff. What's the guy's name with the big teeth that played for Shrewsbury? I'm looking forward to playing him to see how they get fired up on that. Whose image is on our money? That would be, well, right now it's starting to sub over to the king, but it's the Queen predominantly, although the $10 bill, we have some prime ministers. The Queen's on the 20. I can't think of her name, who's on the 10. Diefenbaker's on the 5. Some of our ex-prime ministers are on the other bills. But all the coins are of the Queen and changing to the king. I don't have any. I think I have 110. So. Sorry, making loud noises there. I thought I had one $10 bill. I have more British pounds in cash in the house than I do in Canadian cash. Should I make that the comment of the day just to put it onto a nice graphic and send it around and everybody show up and be like, who's this just looking at you guy? I don't think that's an option, is it? Boycotting. Rosie drawing in 60th minute. She's got a big smile on her face, like to get back into this. Is that an option? I mean, there is a continuing rise of voices of people who wish to get rid of the monarchy in Canada. We pay a lot in taxes to do things. And when Harry came over, picked up a bunch of security costs so that he could start his North American journey. And we're like, a lot of people are like, why? I don't have an issue with it. We waste enough money anyway. What's it matter to me? That's that's fascinating to me. Definitely. I mean, I understand it and I get it. And there were some parts that were authored a little bit more. Were they performative? I don't know but all told, it was the fans and the type of fans and the backstory of the club and the individuals and the personalities from the owners all the way through that got me. And so I can take it both. I see your point both ways, but for me, it's too. I mean, I like my statistics as much as the next person, but it's just without the human component, it would just all be computer generated stuff. As she's fixing her ponytail, heading the ball and kicking it up in the air. Okay, you couldn't leave your hair down. That was fascinating. 61st minute and 40 seconds as the ball went in the air and the Cardiff player was fixing her ponytail. And rather than drop her hair and just play the ball, well, nice thumping volley there, but over top. That was well struck. I'm agreeing with the broadcaster if you're listening. It'll be interesting to see. The big thing for the women too is getting for the Wrexham women is getting the academy situation figured out with their 22 acres of land that they want, and getting the 2 stadiums, so that they're going to be and also potentially the pitch upgrades that are going down. I think they signed a 2-year lease at the Rock. I would like to see them get that new pitch in, because it may allow for additional women's games at the race course, and everybody's on the Rosie train. And a throw, and a little bit of pressure for the first time all half. And is that just because everybody picked up their paces a little bit because of Rosie drawing in? Yeah, the Arsenal one was good. I mean, to me, it was just it really was the people, and do I think they could have written a similar story of a number of different clubs? Sure, but Wrexham won out, and now I'm stuck being a massive fan of a Welsh club that I have to wake up early in the morning to go and watch. 1,312 in attendance. Just not enough marketing. Not enough in the marketing for this event. You're gonna host it in the stadium. You're gonna change the time. You've got the South Wales doubleheader for the Wrexham fans who are heading down, who could have got a hotel and checked out Cardiff for the day, and just I've never heard anything of it. Kim, you're killing me. Like, I don't know if you're married, but the banter that you have with the people around you that are in your life, there's like, do they have PTSD from getting the lashings that you must deliver? And the wit. I don't want to say anything because it's going to come back fired at me. Everybody turns into a nun or a monk. They're quiet and don't say anything. Jesus Christ. And Mulberry, if I didn't say hi, I into the chat, and a name that's a little bit less known to me, and that's probably my fault as I try to follow along with everybody, but that had to have been a flop, no? Yeah, there it is. To see, Brent. That was. I mean, she got sniped by somebody in the crowd because there was nobody around her. Just more Cardiff sort of sniffing around and occasionally getting an opportunity in the final third. We've been blocking the ball well and controlling it, but just not able to crack past the midfield. And this one's going to go out. It's just get it moving forward. Just if you're following along, it's just lots of kicking around the box with very little going into the box for Cardiff. And it feels like the entire half that's been exactly like this. Chat's gone a little bit quiet as we just end up watching them pushing the ball around the box, and here they come down the left-hand side, square it in, and that was dangerous. Kehoe just beyond her reach, and they control it on the other side. So Watkins lifts it up, looking for Kehoe again. So if you're semi-pro and you're playing in your Kehoe and you've had a performance like this, do you end up running and see if you can get a trial somewhere else? I get it, Em. I totally get it. Was I wrong? Was Kehoe not on the right side go in the first half of their front line, and now she's moved over to the left side? Might have been just as a substitution reason, but nice ball forward as Rosie's gets there. Is she going to be able to get some support? Well done, Rosie. And a great ball forward. Opportunity threatening. She's looking. She's waiting. She dances. Knocked out. Going to be a corner. Well done. We'll take that. A little bit of fire. Get into it. Lily with the service. Only the second corner of the game for us. 10-2 are the corners. That's actually a good ball. Oh, it was there. It was there for Allen, who was screaming forward, and she knows she's frustrated. You can see her with her hands up. She had an opportunity there. I don't know if she got up off of the ground a little bit too soon. But that was Lily serving that up, and there she is. Oh, I don't think she had to go through the air. I think she could have volleyed that, and she went up and then realized that she was in no woman's land. The other thing I'm excited to see about Wrexham moving forward, especially because it's semi-pro, is I thought a collision was imminent. Crisis averted. So I'm interested to see how the influence of Wrexham on non-football related things impacts players. And in the women's game, the example of that is like Lily Jones, right? Who is doing more social media content creation stuff, or Roberts, who's jumping into the broadcast thing. I believe that she's got an injury, so it's sort of just a fill-in, but those are opportunities that I don't think that you get at other clubs. So then that leaves, you've got football as a pathway to earn some income and climb and be the best player that you can be. But it also has opened up opportunities elsewhere in the game, potentially, that I think is a draw, or would be a draw to go and play in Wrexham, knowing that you can have a football career after football and during football. But yeah, Woody and Brendan, absolutely, that was a missed opportunity. It was there for the taking. Epic service. Absolutely epic from Lily. Ava I thought she lost it, but got it back, kicks it forward, deflects, rolls over to the right side, going to be grabbed by the keeper. Rosie's going to keep her honest. I was like, you're up 2-0, 71 minutes. I was hoping she wasn't going to lie down on the ball, and she didn't, so that's good. Sort of a frustrating game to watch. But I am thinking it might be nice to do the post match and just put it out there. The after 90 minutes and just create it, set it up, design it. Brendan, if you're interested in helping out both appearance or production side, if anybody else wants to do that, and then just fire it up after the game on Monday and run it for an hour and a half after the game as a shot comes in, and Boland there, who's looked better. He's great. I've got a camera on him, and he's just sitting and chilling and playing with his game on his little device and doing a puzzle and running a train. So he's to be fair, he's grown up into being a pretty decent rock star. I wish he'd like sports a little bit more than he does. He likes his singing and his dancing. You're in. I think it'd be great, Brendan. You'd just be in a producer room, chatting with people and seeing what their stories are. There might be people who come in cold. Send the link out. You have a conversation. You're in my ear, and they end up swearing, cursing, and doing nothing. You don't let them through. They end up saying they're nice people, and this is what they want to talk about. And you can be like, Sean, so and so's coming on, and away they come. And then we get some people who are live in in Wrexham or wherever they're playing who message in, call in, want to do an audio thing. And we just figure it out. It would take a little bit of hitch step, but I think we work it out and just bang the kinks out live. They're going to happen. And it's sports radio Wrexham. Nobody's doing it. John's interested in helping out. Awesome. Then we'll do that. Have you guys filling in. It might be situations where I can't do it, so then you guys end up being the host. Let's figure all that out. And that could be, Mark Griffiths calling in after he does his final whistle, and just saying for 30 seconds to a minute, hey, check that out, and blah, blah, blah. Grabbing whoever is going to be there. No, that's she can't, as defined by the fact that she's actually got to defer to the other girls all of the time. I mean, I read the PR report that came into her on her at the start of the season. I thought that it made her sound as though she might actually be better quality than Dell. And the answer is no. Libby drawing in. I didn't see who came out. Is it Suckley that went out? Yeah. Yeah, I'm the same way. I mean, I went into this, I was hoping, maybe beyond hope, that Cardiff would have an opportunity or we'd have an opportunity against Cardiff to earn a win and just to keep it close enough on the standings to make the next 2 games against Cardiff. I'm assuming that we're going to make the top 4. So we will play them home and away in the second half of the season again. That it would make those games mean something more than just pride, but it is what it is. Yeah, John, I'm with you there, but you know what? People do their things, and some people like to internalize things. Some people like to externalize things. I hold no grudges. He's also by far the biggest one out there, so he's got to be cautious about who he invites in and all that sort of stuff. I get reasons why people want to work together and don't want to work together. I would like to find somebody constant and consistent there, but then I thought I don't think we really needed it either. If we're bowling way out, what was that? And Kehoe misses to the left again. Let off the hook. That was odd. That was way too late of a decision. And with numbers there, just indecision from Boland. Welcome back, Andrew. You didn't miss. So we're sitting at 2-0. Kehoe just had another opportunity there. Big miss. And I don't know. Oh, they're having words. Who was that? Was that Kehoe having words? I think it was. And Allen getting into it a little bit. How did Kehoe miss that? I mean, I'm assuming that you saw it. I don't know. So 2-1 to score. How did she miss it? I thought that was going to be a tap in for sure, but that's 2 that she's probably had that went that one for sure. But an earlier one this half that I think they should have found the back of the net, and she just dragged both of them to the left. Pulled left, open net, ×2. Just quicker, right? They just got to step up on pace. And the other thing, I just want to check. List of champions. Like the what's fascinating to me is Cardiff City as a team. This is relative. Like, yes, they're the defending champions, but they hadn't won it for a decade prior. It's been Cardiff, Met, and Swansea all the way through. Yes, probably should be front of it. And we need. There has to be an overhaul. To move up. Not an overhaul, improvement. But I can't begrudge the girls and the work that they've done, because remember, we weren't semi-pro and we were in the second division. we're a promoted squad who's going to finish the table in the top third of the league. That's impressive. And man, that rain is coming down. You can hear it. Halfway back to Wrexham. 100%, Andrew. That's exactly the message that we've done amazing this year. I was just hoping that they'd be competitive, and fingers crossed they could find a way to get into the top half to be able to play the top 4 teams, because steel sharpens steel, right? So if you finish in the top half, you're going to get more games against Cardiff, more games against Swansea, and more games against one of Aberystwyth or TNS. Top half, top third, 3 out of 8. But top half, yes. Halfway back to Wrexham there. The comments. And so John and Brendan, I may find a time to arrange for some time this week to set up the production side of things and what you guys can control and not control from where you are at, and what it would look like on my system to get it all set. And then on Monday, we might just do it for an hour. If that works, I don't know what your work schedule is like. I can take that hour on the Monday, and I will. But if it's deflected, you know what? That was a beauty of a goal. I don't like to give compliments, but that service. She was the only person who could get to that, and not defended, deflected in. That was the delivery on that was good, and the shot was great. 3-0. Look at that service, just on a line, flat, quick. Nobody can get to it, and just the dagger for Richardson getting the leg out there. Damn it. It was beautiful, but damn it. The art of the flat ball on those crosses, and not a lot of not used and weaponized enough. Has Lovett been injured? Because I recall Lovett being ahead of Sharp on the depth charts earlier in the season, and I actually liked her game. I considered her to be pacey. I considered her to be feisty. I don't know if she's just got a little bit of a knock, so that's why she's coming in late and just getting warmed up, because I'd like to, if not, I'd like to see more of her, because I thought she's been solid back there. Good to know. I'll set it on up and work on a couple of things, and I might try to do that. I got a couple court appearances. It'll be mid to late week by the time I get the pages set up the way that I want it to start testing it. But yeah, 3-0, 3-1 in the, because we had a cup game against them as well that we lost, right? Not the Welsh Cup, it was the Adran Trophy Cup. And we lost that one as well. I think 3-1. But just they're the class of the league. They've been doing this to Swansea. They've been doing everybody. They've only allowed 5 goals all season. This is their 11th game. We have one of them. Actually, I don't know if that was actually in the cup or the league. We may not have any of them. What I would like to see, and I expect we will see, improvement in the through the division to make the competition tighter, right? Joy, come off the bench and run into the rain. You haven't played all game. The game's under control. God. Yeah, Andrew. I appreciate it. But I think, I mean, the history is Swansea and Cardiff met, right? So Cardiff City is certainly there for the 2 seasons in a row, but I think that there's an opportunity for that gap to narrow. And that the narrowing gap is what creates the drama, right? If you take away the championship race and eliminate it with 10 games, 12 games left in the season, it's tough to get excited. You want the teams to have Kehoe draws in, looking to finish, well defended and brought back, but just Kehoe doing her thing and creating. She's had some problems with finishing, but she's put on a bit of a show today. Well, the first one will be streamed. Just maybe I'll do a members only thing, and anybody who else wants to join, who's a member, can do it. Won't make it public, but that allows us to test the chat and all that sort of stuff. Somebody rescue me with the banter. Six minutes extra time. What are we predicting here? 2 minutes? 3 minutes? No, because I can't put that visual image out to the universe. And Brendan forced that image forward. That's just wrong. It's wrong. Gibbard with it, drawing it back. Looked like Sharp. Didn't see the number. Could have been Davis. Yeah, and it's right. If you're way out, then it becomes far less exciting. I get that's why they've done it with a split between the fours to try and give the opportunity for those games to be made up. Well defended, 2 nice tackles there in a row. Let's turn it and see if Rosie can work some magic. Has it? That wasn't Rosie that had it. That was that. Was that Mackenzie? Yeah, Mackenzie. That's another name that Mackenzie coming in as a sub, and I put reserve on the set of substitutes on my thing. Sorry, Andrew. Mackenzie was playing well early in the season. Does she have a knock as well? Because she came in as a sub, and I confused Mackenzie and Rosie there. They've got the camera's too far away, so the 8 looks like 9. Basham. That's just a great name. Basham. And the feed goes down. They don't want us to suffer anymore. I don't know if you guys have it on your BBC iPlayer or anywhere else, but I'm sitting here staring at the black screen and guessing as to what's happening. We'll see if it comes back. There we go. Just as I was going to go to Twitter and figure it out. Sandy, how's it going, stranger? Nice to see you've showed up. You may have been lurking in the background. You creeper, you. Hope all is well. Need to have you on a call in, but we had, things happened and all that sort of stuff. But if you wanted to do a hot stove, like you were talking about, with whoever is interested in whatever for an hour, can definitely coordinate that with you. Man, what's with the visuals we're getting today? We got John being flexible. We got others in the tub. We're back. All is well. Just a little bit of Welsh drama there. And you don't have to type Sandy while you're doing your thing. But if you wanted to send me a message of figuring out time, you said it might be like you and 3 other people wanted to join on the hot stove thing. And I do want to continue those. I just want to It's hard finding time. I keep sending out messages and can never coordinate that 8-hour time difference. It'd be far easier if I was on the East Coast and it's just 4 hours, because you can do a home from work and a late night and everybody's good. But somebody's got to lose a shift at work or have time in the week to be able to meet. Throw in for the other team. I'm liking the Fire, though. Complaining about a throw in, down 3-0 in the 88th minute. Oh, some pushing and shoving there. Love it. See, that's the type of Fire. Is that on Kehoe? It is. Loving it. Fire in the belly. Nobody flopping. 2 flops. As I say that. Headed away, chipped out, disappointed and frustrated that was the touch. Davis back there, pulled over to the right-hand side. Big looping cross into the box. Nothing there, so it's going to go out. Boland. All right, secured it. We're all right. We're all right. That was Kara Jones that was out there defending that. The other thing is, because of the injuries, everybody's out of position from normally where I'd end up seeing them being in the back line completely with Dolan out. Everybody's on the shuffle. The chat has gone quiet. Everybody sort of realizing the game's... Oh, or did it just... I said hot stove, not dot. That's interesting. That's the first time where the chat went back down, and you can see that. We got gremlins everywhere. Me too. Great. Been in the bath. And then it went silent for a while. Because I went to school for it, Sandy. I was dumb enough to be able to do that. Plus, I mean, a little bit different. That was public work stuff too. And I did that for 3 years where I had to review that stuff as part of my gig and got told what it all was and what the process was. But I'm the one talent I have, and that's what I end up getting, or would rather be a footballer. But yeah, it's all there now. I just need to sit down with Humphrey and have the chat. Whoa, Boland out there too. Well done to deflect it and punch it away. Maybe should have got into the ears of her defender to clear out so she could have grabbed it. 4 minutes of added time. Because like that second goal, initial first contact makes the save, keeps it out, but it was in a dangerous spot. Yeah, I didn't delete it. It's in my chat. You also talked about the Canucks game, and I can bring that one up here, but it's not in the chat. Bath visual, it's there, but it's not in the chat. So I don't know what happened with that. I didn't see that. I've seen that call before, though. Yeah, it did go silent after Kim left, didn't it? So 2.5 minutes. The women are back on Wednesday. I should confirm that before we head out. Then they're here Sunday. So 2 women's matches before we get to the FA Cup match against the Blackburn Rovers, where are we going to have more Wrexham fans in their stadium than Blackburn fans? That's going to be fascinating. Christmas 2025. Yeah, I hope I'm wrong. Natural Resources Wales. I'm curious what the issue is. And I don't have a problem with them doing their thing, but that pending for 6 months, 7 months now, without a note from them declaring if more is needed, I believe there's probably some conversations that are happening offline. between them, but put something out in this to the public sphere so that we know what's going on and that you're actually doing your job. But yeah, it's frustrating. The money seems to be there. I'll tell you, that'd be a death knell if the city goes, you know what, you're taking too long. We're going to push and move the money back over to the eastern side of the Gateway projects just so we can get some of it spent, because it's hurting our ability to drum up money because we're holding on to it. Then who knows what's going on after that. But they seem to be working towards it. And really what they should do is just start the next one and get the planning process going right away anyways, because it's taking that long to go through the stuff. Boland out. Just got enough, or just threw her off enough that it ended up going wide. 5 seconds late on a couple of decisions. 5 seconds late. So yeah, Wednesday, 11:45 for me. So that's 2:45 out on the East Coast. That's a 7:45 start. TNS. And then we're back Sunday early in the morning, regular time, 6 a.m. our time, 9 a.m. Eastern. And that's a 2 p.m. kickoff in Wrexham. And then just 2 more games after that until the first half is over. And then there will be, 14 more games after that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Do they do home and away? 12 games after that. I assume it's earmarked for us until 2028. I do. That's a fair comment, John, is because they've given us that deadline within the correspondence that it's probably earmarked for that length of time. As the whistle blows and the match concludes 3-0, just Cardiff being a step above and securing their spot in the table. That's going to move them up to 31 points. And with Swansea 1, they'll keep pace with them. We're going to fall back a little bit, because now we're 12 points behind? 12 points behind with a game in hand, with not enough games. We'd have to go on some crazy run, and Cardiff would have to start losing to be able to get to the top spot. But there is good news with what happened behind us. TNS didn't get points this day, losing 4-1 in their match against Barrytown. So they gave away points against competition that, at least in the standings, is lower in quality. And Cardiff met. Were they part of the Aberystwyth cancellation? Yeah, Cardiff met and Aberystwyth didn't play. Sorry, it was, and so they've got an opportunity to gain, but we're getting some separation there. Hey, John, you're welcome. Flexible John signing off. More about speed than skill. We'll see. I hope I'm there Wednesday. I'm not going to guarantee it. Stay tuned to the channel. If you see it in the live section, you know I'm going to be there. That's when I commit. The only reason I may not be there by Wednesday is it's tough for me to take off too many during the week, and it's also a really busy time for me. So 4 games left in the first full half of the season. We've got the makeup game there on Wednesday, and then we've got 3 more to follow up with that. 4 more. It's 5 more. 4 games left in the regular season. Sorry. The makeup game that is being made up on Wednesday against the New Saints, and then you've got Aberystwyth, Pontypridd, and Cardiff. And is there still 1 more game? We did have that postponement. Anyway, I'll clear that up and we'll figure it all out. Thanks for being with us, guys. I'm going to go and check in with the little man and do our thing. I will message out to Brendan and to Jed and to John and to whoever regarding setting that up to do the live. It may end up being just sort of a group thing where all 4 of us are just sort of flying at it. We'll figure it out. I really want to do it because if we can set the time up and get it regular, I think it'll continue to grow. I've enjoyed having you guys. The chat has been on fire today. I got to pull that comment up from 8 minutes and 50 seconds that Kim threw out. I think that's going to be the comment of the day. Didn't do women of the match. And maybe that's something we should start doing. I need to put the graphics out for this one. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy your Sunday. Have a good start to the week. Hopefully see you Wednesday, but if not, Sunday for sure for the women. And then the Blackburn game, FA Cup, 4th round on Monday. Take care, everybody. We're out.